Welcome back to the Road Show this morning in the Buzz. If researchers who study the psychological profiles of the state are right, Rhode Island could maybe benefit from a little attitude adjustment. Now, the study found that Rhode Island is the second most neurotic state, the sixth most disagreeable.
I disagree.
And apparently, those findings are based on scientists' analysis of independent population, crime, occupation, and mortality. So what do you guys think?
I think it's...
You do?
How's that?
But here's the thing. Don't you feel like, I mean, I've been to different, states and cities around the country, some that I've lived in, some that I've just visited, and you do get a sense of different feelings when you go to different places.
Listen,
there's different feelings everywhere.
It's the East Coast mentality.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not just Rhode Island.
So you think it's
the whole
prejudice?
It's the whole eastern seaboard from D.C. all the way up through Massachusetts into Boston.
Okay.
We tell it like it is. If we got a problem with you, you don't have to guess to say, hey, does that guy like me? You'll know in about 3 seconds.
They're punching up population numbers. These are just a bunch of nerds trying to figure out what,
Well, and one of the guys is from Cambridge, England.
Get out of here.
These are intelligent people.
What does he know about Rhode Island?
Okay.
We took boats to get away from that guy. Come on.
I will say this in terms of like openness. I guess we're 28th on openness. I don't exactly know what openness means.
We wear our heart on our sleeve.
Okay. Well, I have seen though that that there have been other people who've moved to the state and say, it takes a while to get connected with people who live in this state.
Well, you know what I'm sorry.
Oh no. Well, it's just Rhode Island is a small state, tight knit, and trying to add somebody new.
And a lot of families.
Exactly.
And a lot of families.
Somebody new coming into the situation. Not that they're not welcoming here, but. Newbies like, hey, who are you? You have to kind of work your way in.
It's like the new kid in class.
Okay.
You got to feel him out a little bit or feel her out a little bit just to see what kind of person she is. Now, listen, this is a provincial state.
Yeah.
And, generations after generation after generation, they don't leave. They stay. And it's so small, it's incestuous. So, and I agree with Sean, when a newcomer comes in, especially if they're from a place that's not like this.
Yeah.
If you're not coming from Philadelphia or New York or Baltimore or those places in between, some of those smaller cities, if you're coming from the Midwest or the West Coast even, where you ever been to LA?
Yes.
If that light turns yellow and you go to step off the curb, there'll be an accident, chain reaction accident, because they stop dead.
Yeah.
Here.
In New York.
It's
and
like,
on the East Coast in general.
Motorists got the right of way here, man.
Right.
You better be watching.
I will say this, the study said, I'm looking at it here, and it says that the Ocean State actually began neurotically because they tossed Roger Williams out of Massachusetts. He was a preacher who believed in religious freedom, which was an unpopular notion. And then he came here. A lot of these people, and I'm just gonna read straight from here. These people were crazy by the definition of their own days. They were so cantankerous that they couldn't even live with each other, and that a tone was set. This is what it's saying.
Are you going to tell me that people up in Beantown don't have attitude?
Oh, no, there's a separate type of attitude, though. That is how it all started.
Well, we do have a term for them, the people who drive around, the mass. I think we'll just keep it at that. But everybody knows.
Okay, now, hold on.
Enough said.
We waited long enough. There were two separate thoughts.
But I think it's really interesting that they have this, and I'm dying to know what people at home think, because, maybe it may be hard to judge yourself when you're living here. Courtney Caligari has lived here all her life.
I am a lifelong resident.
She is the sweetest girl you ever want to meet.
That is true.
Thank you.
She's
I love it here.
Off air, though.
But I mean, I guess I love it because it's all I know. But I travel a lot too, so I mean, the U.S. is a pretty great place. But we do have some comments here from our viewers on FoxProvidence.com, and this is what Jerry thinks. He says the problem with Rhode Islanders, too much negative thinking. You have to be positive in life, not a pessimist. And we also heard from one artist. She said, I'm without words, but she also told us she lived in Florida for 3 years and could not wait to get back to Rhode Island and its friendly, accepting people. And Bethany says she likes that it's a little state. So we also have a poll here on FoxProvidence.com. We're asking, do you think the state of Rhode Island needs an attitude change? Choices are A, yes, we could all be a little nicer, or B, no, it's just a study. I love Rhode Island. And I also have the link to that study if you want to read all of its complete findings. We also have some of our comments here on Facebook.com, and Julie thinks we all need an attitude change, and James thinks we don't. So it's going a little both ways here, but if you want to chime in, you can hop on the live blog or jump on Facebook. But I'll be back at the end of the show with your poll results. For now, head in the kitchen. Vince, what's going on?